the blind. Smart money moves with RCU. Tune in, listen up, we got the clue. Taking charge of your finances with pride. Together we'll make smart money moves worldwide. RCU.
It is Tuesday, time for Smart Money Moves here on WHDL's Coffee with Brian. This morning, I'm joined by Heidi Tudhope. Heidi, how are you this morning?
Good morning, Brian.
You brought your coffee.
I brought my coffee. That's the name of the show.
Yeah, it's hard to have coffee with Brian without coffee. It's just Brian. Well, that's not as fun.
I mean, I do have a coffee addiction, so.
Yep, me too.
You're fun, though.
Yeah, yes. So, what is going on down at RCU right now, or in the surrounding area?
All kinds of stuff is going on, but I guess I will try and reel it in and focus on just a few things. I do want to talk about the summer music series coming up next Thursday.
Yep.
So the 17th, starts at 6 p.m.
Yep.
This is our second summer here in Whitehall. The Chamber has really put some efforts into trying to get a summer music series going. Mm-hmm. I think you actually just talked about Mondays in the park in Osseo.
Yep.
And that has been such a successful program, a real inspiration. So that's been going on for a long time, and that now has a lot of community support. And Whitehall is really hoping to start to kindle something, in that direction. So this is only our second year, but I would really love to see community come out and support this so that we have that impetus moving forward to put more effort in, put more time in, put a little more money in maybe. Yeah. Get people inspired about having these community events, appreciating our local features. It's down at the bandstand, which is a historic location. The city and the people have put a lot of time and effort and money into restoring that location. So it's exciting to see it being used. It's exciting to be part of it. So coming up Thursday, now that I've given you a little speech, show up.
Yep.
We're going to have Corey Riesenweber there doing music.
Yeah.
And she does a spectacular variety. It's sponsored by RCU. I'm going to be there face painting. For those of you who don't know, I'm, half numbers gal and half creative. So the creative outlet really... not applicable at work too much.
Yeah, you don't face paint too many customers coming through the door.
Well, I mean, I did for Festival of Trees.
Oh, there you go.
No, they were mostly children. Yeah. But no, it's I just don't get to express that side of myself at work. Numbers are pretty yes or no or black and white. So on the side, I have a little face painting gig. So I will be there face painting. I understand there's like a food truck and a sweets truck. There's going to be bubbles and games, food and music. We're hoping for good weather. So, what else have you got to do? Thursday night, 6 p.m., right in the heart of town. Pop down. Check out the summer music series. Tell your friends about it. Bring your family. Support the event. And, let's help get more moving in Whitehall for these kind of opportunities, so people don't have to drive every time to Osseo, Eau Claire, La Crosse, wherever. Yep,
and it's great to have these events. I know when we started the music series in Osseo, I mean, it's been 12 years, I think, now that it's been. It was tough at first because people see music going on and they think it's a private event or something, but it's the music series for Osseo and here. It's free to come. Bring your lawn chair, show up, and tell a friend about it because it's that getting the local people behind it to show up to make those contributions is really important. And I think music's one of those things, it brings everyone together. So
absolutely.
And that's what we really need more in this day and age, I think, than anything else.
Yes, finding common ground and a place where we can unite.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep, exactly.
Well said.
Yeah. I say some decent words once in a while.
Well, I mean, they gave you the job for a reason.
Yeah. It was my long hair. I think that was it. Long hair and my love of coffee. So, no. So, speaking of RCU, I want to tell you a little story before we get into the things you guys have going on. I got my loan for my truck through RCU.
Awesome.
And I got my bank account set up, and I signed up for that extra insurance when I bought it, just in case I'm unable to work, and I'm sure glad I did that because with the surgery that I had to have, it was in that period of where I had to make my truck payment, and I was like, how am I going to make this payment? I went down. It was so easy. You guys had me just fill out some stuff, send it off, and they covered my loan payment for a month so I could recover and not have to worry about that. So I got to say, that was the easiest money I ever made just by getting that extra part of my loan.
Yep. We call it's payment protection.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I will tell you, whenever, I and my team members hear about something going on in the community, whether it's, someone who has fallen ill or, had knee replacement or throat surgery,
Yep.
We're always like, oh, do they have payment protection?
Yeah.
Because you want to be sure you reach out and let them know, don't worry about this. This weight is off your shoulders.
Yep.
You have protection in place for this, surprise maybe, or maybe even it was coming, it was planned.
Yeah.
But it's a real asset and a lot of peace of mind.
Oh, yeah.
So it's always good to hear those, and of course I hear lots of positive feedback stories.
Yeah.
I do know, when you're paying those bills, usually it's like medical insurance and car insurance. You're like, so I'm spending this money for something I hope never happens. Homeowners insurance. Well, I don't want my house to burn down.
Yeah.
But again, when those things happen, you're sure glad that you took those steps. And payment protection is very affordable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So-
it was not, it comes out of my loan. I don't even know that
Yep.
I pay it, but I pay
Yep.
it. And, yeah, it was one of those things where, when they told me a month before, this is what's going to happen, this is the period you're out, from singing and everything else, I was just kind of like, how am I going to do this? And that just helped. It was like the surgery never happened because it's paid, and it's like right back to the
Right.
money I was making before. So it's like, okay, I can do this. And anytime you have something like that, the stress of, of going through things like that is enough. And to know that your money's, that your loan's paid for is just a little extra help.
I'm so glad to hear that. I will, if my team members they might be listening actually, but if they're not, I will pass that along because it's really heartwarming to us to hear that feedback, and then to know when you are suggesting this protection to a member with a new loan that it is genuinely for their benefit. It's not.
Yeah.
We're not trying to just make an extra buck.
No kidding.
Kind of thing. So yeah. So
Yeah.
thanks for that.
Yeah, no problem. What else you got going on down there?
Well, again, back to the numbers side of my personality. I wanted to do just a little bit of education about loans in general. So we're talking about your secured vehicle loan.
Yep.
Royal Credit Union does loans for virtually everything. We do a signature loan for $2,000 worth of dental work that comes up. We do mortgage loans. We do consumer loans. So that could be anything from your boat, your RV, your new Ranger, your new to you Ranger.
Yeah.
Those are super popular right now.
Oh, no kidding.
Obviously cars.
Yeah.
Trailers, all kinds of stuff. So when you have an item of collateral, a piece that we put a lien on, it technically belongs to us. Like we got first dibs
Yep.
while you're paying off your loan. And then the lien is released, and now it's fully yours. Same thing happens with the mortgage, and this is standard throughout any financial interest rate. This
Yeah.
is not just Royal.
If you got equity, you might as well use it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good to go. And that's, I guess, the thing that I kind of want to point out is Royal. One of our goals is being your trusted advisor. We are not a bank. We do not have stockholders. We're not trying to make money for somebody to buy their second vacation home in Florida.
Yeah.
We are member owned. Each of us is $5 in, and that's what makes up the credit union. We're not for profit. So we are here to take care of each other. So when you come in and you're like, oh, can I get a loan? We might start asking questions like, do you have any collateral? And it's not because we necessarily want to get up in your business. It's because we want to save you money. So when you write an unsecured loan, numbers tell us that's a higher risk factor.
Yep.
If people don't have an impetus item, they might be less likely to pay that bill. It's not personal. Unfortunately, that's just math.
Yep.
Math says these are higher risk loans. People are less likely to pay them back. As soon as you add collateral, say your car,
Yeah.
now if you don't pay your loan, we'll send you some letters, we'll call you on the phone, we'll try to make some deals. And if all that falls through and none of that works, then we might come take your car. That's how collateral works. But you know that.
Yep.
You know, hey, if I don't make my payment, they might take my car.
Yeah.
So that is, of course, your impetus, because you need your car to get to work, to go ahead and make your payment. We always lose money if we repossess collateral.
Yeah.
It's never.
It's never a
It
moneymaker.
rarely happens. But yes, we're not used car dealers. We don't sell cars. We don't, that's not our. Plus, it costs money to get it back and file the paperwork and, then sell it at an auction or whatever. So our goal is never, ever to take your stuff back. It's always, the goal is to get you into a lower risk category so that we can lower your interest rate and save you money. So often, like you said, if you have equity, might as well use it.
Yeah.
Even if you are getting a loan for your teeth. I mean, do you have a car that you own free and clear? Or do you, or a trailer or something? I mean, we do loans on, as far as I've seen, almost everything except for yachts.
Really?
Yeah, no yachts.
No yachts? Oh, darn. I was just going to buy myself a yacht.
Or actually boats that will be sailed in international waters. So mostly yachts.
Oh, yeah, those ones can get away from you.
They're kind of big. But I mean, yes, tractors, lawnmowers, skid steers, wood skidders, like people in the community, people in the area. We do loans for all the things, and most of those items can be used for collateral. So those are things to think about when you're thinking about, man, why do I have a 12.5% interest rate on my signature loan? And again, it's math.
Yep.
The statistics tell us that this is a higher risk loan, and therefore, to be a responsible financial and protect our members, we're all $5 in, to protect their money and our stability, we have to use the information available to us, which says, unfortunately, if you're unsecured, you get a higher rate.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, 12.5% is a fraction of your typical credit card, which is in that 28 to like 32% range.
Yeah.
So we're talking like 1/3. So it's definitely, absolutely something you consider. And a lot of people, I don't think, know that you can walk in the door and say what you need and walk out with a check.
Yep. Yeah, that's when I got my loan, I didn't think it was going to be like that. And they're just like, yeah, who do you want the check made to? I'm like, I wasn't prepared for this.
Right. Now, we love it if you make an appointment so we can make sure we have space and time. And we love it if, you give us as much information as you can. If you're buying a private party vehicle, we can't write you a check without a VIN number or a clear title.
Yeah.
There are some hoops to jump through.
Yes.
But again, they're not on fire. And for the most part, we make it as easy as we can. So even if you're not a Royal member, you can still come in. You would have to open a $5 savings account to become a member. But you can still come in. We can take a peek. We might be able to help you out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
And again, if you're like, oh, time is of the essence, we can do it quickly. And that's one of the things I love coming from, old school financials, where it was like, well, we'll call you back in 3 days, and then we'll take it to the board, and we'll see if we can get it approved. Being able to help people and help people now is a very satisfying aspect of my position at RCU here in town.
Yeah, and I've dealt with that before, in my younger years was, you'd go in, you'd fill out the paperwork, they'd be like, okay, we'll get back to you by Wednesday, and then Wednesday'd come, oh, we got to bring it to here, and then by the end of the week, they'd tell you no. And so,
right?
At least, tell me no right away or tell me yes right away, and that's how it worked down there, and I'm very happy to have it.
Good.
Yeah, is there anything else you want to cover before we get running today?
Well, if by chance you're not in the market for a loan, and in fact you have some money that you want to work for you, we do have CDs. We have a 9-month right now and a 12-month. Your choice, what fits your lifestyle, what fits your future plans. 4.4 APY is currently our best rate. So,
Okay.
something for everyone. Pop on down, check it out. But seriously, come out, support the Summer Music Series. I'm super excited about, like you said, 12 years in Osseo to build a really amazing program. Now you have that fabulous Garber band shell, which is absolutely gorgeous and lit up at night. It's an asset to the community all the time.
Yeah.
We have already put in the work on the old bandstand here in Whitehall. They spent tens of thousands of dollars and have made that a nice location. So let's take advantage of the work that's already been done and get out there and appreciate it.
Exactly. Well, we've been speaking with Heidi Tudhope from RCU this morning here in Whitehall. Thank you, Heidi, so much for being with me this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yep, anytime. We'll have some more coffee after this.
Absolutely.
We're going to get back into the hits right after this.
Attention sports fans, are you ready for heart-pounding action? Jaw-dropping plays and unforgettable moments.